Today we're going to learn how to graph linear equations using intercepts. First, what we need to talk about is what is an intercept. A linear equation has two intercepts, an x-intercept and a y-intercept. The x-intercept is the point where the line crosses the x-axis. So in the example drawn here, the x-intercept is 4, or the point 4, 0. In this example, the y-intercept is the point 0.5, or we might just say that the y-intercept is 5, because the line crosses the y-axis at y equals 5, or the point 0.5. Now that we know what an x and y-intercept are, we can use these two to help us graph linear equations. Suppose I was given the equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 6, and I was asked to draw the graph of this equation. First thing I need to point out is that this equation is in standard form. And we'll talk more about what standard form means a little bit later. In order for me to graph an equation using the x and y intercepts, I need to point something out. So let's go back to our graph. Notice that the x-intercept is always going to be a point on the x-axis. All points on the x-axis have y-coordinates of 0. So in order for me to find the x-intercept, I must substitute a 0 in place of y. So I'm going to rewrite this equation, but instead of y, I'm placing a 0 or substituting a 0. If I solve this equation, notice 3 times 0 is 0. And 2x plus 0 is just 2x. So I know that 2x is equal to 6. If I divide both sides by 2, I find that x is equal to 6 divided by 2, or 3. So I know that my x-intercept is the point 3, 0. So when I get ready to draw my graph, I can use the point 3, 0 as one of the points on the graph. So now that I've found my x-intercept, now I need to find my y-intercept. If you go back to the graph I showed you to begin with, remember that the y-intercept is going to be a point on the y-axis. All points on the y-axis have x-coordinates of 0. So I'm going to go back to my original equation, and this time in place of x, I'm going to put a 0. So I'm going to do 2 times 0 plus 3y is equal to 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 3y is just going to be 3y. So I know 3y is equal to 6. If I divide both sides by 3, I now know that y is equal to 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So I now know that my y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 2. I now have enough information to draw my graph. I'm going to start off by drawing my x and y axes, my coordinate grid, if you will. And we found that the x-intercept is 3, which is the point 3, 0. So the point 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 is on the graph. And we found that the y-intercept is 2, or the point 0, 2. 2 points is enough to make a line. I'm going to take my ruler, line it up, and draw my line. Don't forget to include the arrows. And this is the graph of the equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. Now you try one. See if you can find the x and y intercepts for the equation negative 5x plus 2y is equal to negative 10.